Everything as my notifications go off. Welcome to Empowered Podcasting Live. I believe this is our 5th edition since we started this a couple months ago now. We do this every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Yes, we talk all things podcasting, but we also give you some more information about the behind the scenes here at Empowered Podcasting for the upcoming event coming August 21st through the 23rd in Charlotte, North Carolina at the lovely Hyatt Centric. We will be back there again for a 3rd year. And today we also have a guest. We've got BC Babbles. He was a first-time attendee last year, and he's also a co-host on the Podcasting Morning Show and does a lot of other cool stuff too. So we'll get more from BC in a moment, if I can get my words out. Let me welcome in my co-hosts. We've got Jason Cercone and Rich Perry. Hello, fellas. How are you?
Super. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, Rich.
Doing good.
Official, I know this has nothing to do with podcasting. Official, how many stars do you give Mandalorian and Grogu?
Come on, dude. I'm easy. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. Dude,
Rich,
I liked it.
Rich is, I think, a more jaded Star Wars fan than I, and jaded for good reason. Like, he's like all in no matter what it is. It seems like Rich likes everything Star Wars.
I live by the motto when it comes to Star Wars, I can either enjoy it, entertain myself, be a kid again, or I can sit there and piss and moan and be mad at things, and I can't change it anyway, so I might as well just enjoy it. I loved it, so.
I'm with you there, too. I mean, I may not give it 5 stars, but I'd give it like 4, 4.5. I loved it. It was a fun movie. Yes, it was a great movie. Okay, now let's talk a little podcasting, shall we? Or specifically, since, as I teased, we do talk a lot about the behind the scenes of Empowered Podcasting. Let's start with you, Jason, because you are leading the charge as far as our speakers are concerned. So please share an update for us.
I feel a little left out. I can't give my thoughts on.
Well,
the
I know
new
you
Star
don't
Wars
like.
movie.
I know you don't watch Star Wars very much.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, and I won't see it. So I saw the first 6. I feel like I got enough of the story there.
I mean, next time I'll ask you about the Steelers or something along those lines.
Let's not talk about that either.
Okay.
Yes, speakers. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. If you are a speaker, you've been contacted by me. It was individual. I want to apologize because a little bit more time than I was anticipating has passed since I said you'll hear from me in the near future with all of the details and your speaker graphics and your discount code and all those things. But we were able to get things ironed out this morning. Andrea is currently building the speaker page as we speak.
On the website.
empoweredpodcasting.com. So everybody will be... Their beautiful pictures and links to their brands and and what they'll be talking about at the event will all be featured on the website today. That's the plan. I guess don't hold me to it since everything else has been backwards in that respect. But overall, we got a great lineup of speakers in place. If you have been chosen, I will be in contact with you today with information to start promoting and start sharing the fact that you're going to be a speaker, and also to set up our first all-speaker community call. We want to get everybody on the horn, like kind of similar to what we're doing here, but not live, just to chat and meet one another, and Mark, Rich, and I can lay out expectations for this year's event and what to expect. We're raising the bar to some degree in regards to the presentation this year, but we've got 2 full days worth of speakers lined up, from workshops to keynotes to panels. You got all kinds of 30-minute breakouts where there's so much goodness that's going to be on the stage for the main 2 full days of EPC this year.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. So
and new speakers too. We won't have all the same ones. We've got some new ones coming.
New speakers as well. We do have a couple comeback stories, but we also have some new blood on the stage as well. Overall, we're just looking forward to having everybody in the same room again and having these amazing conversations. We got to watch a lot of good things unfold live last year at EPC2, and I feel this year is going to be even better. So I will be in touch with everybody today. That is my plan, and as I said, start promoting. You'll be able to, if you want to create your own graphics to promote, you're more than welcome to, but we've got one made to get the ball rolling for everybody. And I will say, too, I know I've had a couple questions, not just from speakers, but from other people looking to attend. If I'm jumping ahead on you guys, I apologize. But empoweredpodcasting.com/conference is where you can learn everything you need about booking a hotel room in our hotel block. So for speakers and for attendees, get that discounted rate locked in now and get your ticket now because the price will go up. We've got a little bit of time. It won't be till July that tickets increase again.
Yes,
but
July 14th.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So that's the update on my end. I pass the baton to one of you fine gentlemen.
Cool. And we've shared the keynotes. One of them is Heather Parody, one of my favorite creators on Instagram and elsewhere. And also Patrick Casal, who is a gentleman who's been on TEDx stages. He's actually a client of mine as well. I'm helping him with a big rebrand of his podcast. And he's somebody that has what he calls odd HD, both autism and ADHD. And he's a creator. He's got a podcast, a YouTube channel, all the things, and he's going to share a little bit about his journey, about being authentic and all the things. So we will look forward to hearing more from him and Heather. And yeah, I'm really excited about the workshops this year too, because last year it was more of an experiment. Some of the workshops weren't really workshops. They were kind of presentations. And this year we've made it a real effort to make sure that those who are selected as workshop presenters really do provide more of a workshop experience. That's why we gave them extended time as well. We extended it. It's not the 30-minute presentation. It's going to be a longer one because we imagine those will be more interactive. So looking forward to that too. I think Sid Meadows, who was with us the last time, I think he's doing a workshop, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, and he's going to teach us all about how he monetized his podcast and how we can do just like what he did with a quote-unquote smaller podcast. Very cool. And thank you for that, Jason. Rich, we have got some room for creator partners, if I'm not mistaken. Do you want to share a little bit?
Dude, we've got 2 spots left for creator partners. You'll remember folks that have been watching the last couple episodes of EP Live. We talked about the creator partner program as a brand new addition to what we're doing for independent, creators that want to get involved. They want to be get more visibility. They want to be seen as a sponsor with Empowered Podcasting, but you're a smaller creator. Maybe you don't have the big budget of a bigger media company. Well, the Creator Partner Program is great, and it allows you to do exactly what it is that you do. So you give us your content. You're not talking about EP. Like, we're not asking you to promote Empowered Podcasting. You're promoting your stuff. You're sharing your great stuff that you would normally put on your channels, but now we're pushing it on our channel. So we're promoting you, supporting you just as you have supported us. So we've got 2 spots left. We set a goal for 10. We've got 8. So if you want to be a creator partner, reach out. Love to have you. And I will say that the 8 partners that we already have are people that are part of our community. These aren't just, folks that we've pitched out in the public or whatever. These are folks that you've seen them on stage. They're interactive in the Facebook group. These are the folks that love Empowered Podcasting, and now they're kind of stepping up and getting more involved. And if that's you, we'd love to have you as well. So 2 spots left.
Best way to contact you if someone wants one of those spots?
Yeah, on all social channels, or just rich@richperry.com, or just go to the empoweredpodcasting.com, go to our website, go to the sponsor tab, fill out the form, and in the notes area, in the memo area, just put, I want to talk about creator partner.
Awesome. And I think one of our panel speakers is joining us live on Clubhouse as we speak right now. Tim. Yeah. Welcome, Tim. Good to have you here. Tim will be on a panel as well. I think, how many panels do we have this year, Jason? Is it 5 or less? 3?
It's 3/4, and I say it that way because we've got 3 panels that'll be coming at you on Friday. Those are, one is going to be around the power of community. There's 2 more panels that we're still working out what the details of those panels will be. And then the 4th panel, we're waiting to finalize this, but we're hoping that we'll have the Podcast Professionals Association on board for a panel on Saturday for an Ask the Pros event. They did this last year, and it was a great Q&A where people in the audience were able to ask some podcasters that are a part of that organization questions and get some good answers to help them move forward. So looking to have 4 on the stage this year.
PPA currently and temporarily a live streaming competitor of ours right now.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
We just discovered, we discovered that they are also doing a live stream at the moment, but that's okay. That happens on occasion.
Simulcast,
all right, cool.
guys. Everybody just get 2 screens going.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And if you do want to watch us, I see we've got a little bit of an audience here on Clubhouse. If you do want to watch the video, I've shared the link here on Clubhouse, so come join us over there. Okay, cool. So we've got some updates. We've got more, including a giveaway that we will talk a little bit more about here after we speak a little bit with BC Babbles. Good morning, BC. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Yeah. You like
Not
me
the morning show,
when we do the morning show and we say good morning. That's just it's a habit. But BC, I was talking before we started here that my memory of your first time, which was last year at the conference, was my memory, which maybe it's serving me poorly, was that you came in like, hey, don't have a ticket. Is it too late? Can I still do this? And I remember we went off to the side, I feel like, and I kind of helped you order your ticket. But maybe I have it all wrong. Maybe that was somebody else and I'm getting it all confused now. Tell me about how you found us.
So we have to, in general, thank our mutual friend Alex Sanfilippo for me being aware of the conference. I started following him early last year. And funny enough, once I did that, I kind of noticed that my entire feed, at least on LinkedIn, was suddenly all about Pod Expo this, Podfest that, all these things I'd never heard about before. And what kind of had me frustrated leading up till, what was it, late August? September was the conference, right? And I realized I had missed so many conferences. And then I saw a post from him saying, heading up from Florida to Charlotte for this empowered podcasting conference, which I hadn't heard of yet. And it was late Thursday when I saw that post. And so I looked into it. I'm like, crap, I hadn't heard about this conference. It starts tomorrow. And that's when I think I chose to first email or try to call you, because you were probably uber busy at that point, getting things together, saying, hey, I just heard about this. Is it possible to still get tickets like at the door? Is that possible? I think what happened though was I had just received a refund check from school. At the time I was in the middle of a master's program, and
recently graduated, by the way, right?
Huh?
Recently graduated, by the way.
Graduated in February, so I'm a newly minted Master's of Science in Marketing. Hire me. But I was in the mood to splurge a little bit, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. It's right here in Charlotte. It's in South Park. I'm not there nearly enough, so got a hotel room, and I purchased the ticket, I think Thursday night or Friday night, because I didn't see you until I think Saturday morning. But I do this weird thing where I kind of go beyond someone and do something anyway, but then double check afterward, which makes no linear sense. So your memory is likely correct, but I don't do things in a super fixed way. So I tend to cause people to get confused. That's on me. I'll give that.
Okay, that's fair. All right, cool. But I'm glad you found us, and I'm glad that his word traveled, and traveled right to your hometown. So that all worked out really well. And then look what happened, right? Then he ended up being a regular on the podcasting morning show, and the rest is history. Jason, did you have a question for BC?
Yeah, BC, this was your first event, and I think you've made us realize we have to step up our local marketing game.
Yes, sir.
Make sure we've got more of a Charlotte presence. Wow, that's good to know. But that being the first event that you attended, what was your big takeaway?
What I loved about it, and this is coming from someone who's been pretty hip deep in Charlotte's entrepreneurial ecosystem for a couple of years now, and having been to a lot of conferences since early 2023 in the area. What I loved about EPC is that the information you get from it was elite, but it didn't feel like you had to be elite to be there, if that makes sense. It was a lot of genuine information that broke down a lot of barriers from what I got to attend, because again, I was only there on Saturday for the most part. But a lot of genuine high tier information from each of the panels, depending on the path you were on, because you have the simultaneous pathways there. But you didn't have to be uber successful already. You didn't have to have this really huge, expensive, or multifaceted project already under your belt to feel like you belonged there. So I liked that interesting, almost dichotomy that EPC gave me, at least as an attendee and the last minute attendee at that. So that's what told me pretty much immediately, if this is going to come back to Charlotte, which thankfully it is, I'm gonna be there. So, and I think I told Mark, I think as of March, I've had my week-long stay at the Hyatt already on the books.
Yes.
I already got my ticket months ago. Like, I'm ready to go. So I'm ready for sure for August to get here.
I love it. I love it. And I really appreciate the way that you sharing that particular perspective about the event, the fact that you didn't have to feel like you were elite to be there, right? Even though it maybe gave a little bit of that impression, just of like there were a lot of big players there, a lot of people with a lot of information, but everything felt very approachable. And that's the whole goal of this conference, is to do just that. It's to make people feel like they belong, to help people feel like they belong. We can't make anybody do anything, but we can certainly set the table well for them. And I think that's the beauty of this conference. So yeah, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. And glad to know you're all in. Rich, did you have any questions? Did you want to ask BC anything?
Yeah, I have a follow-up to Jason's, and then I have my own question. So my follow-up to Jason's, and it kind of rides his coattails. Obviously, it's a follow-up.
Sure.
Being that your first day was that Saturday, and don't blow smoke or anything like that. Like, how was it for you, kind of like jumping in, because everyone else had already had that full day? Was it easy for you to get acclimated? Did it take a little bit, warming up, and everyone else already has like people that they know and stuff like that? Or like, what was your strategy there, and what was your experience there to just jump right in, or what?
No, that's a great question, because I was a little worried hopping into the second day that it'd be like the new kid on a cast of a show that's been going for a couple years. Like, how am I going to feel? Can I acclimate? Will that be an easy thing? Thankfully, I think not long after I bumped into Mark on Saturday, I bumped into Alex, and he and I had conversed a lot online. I think I'd also been on Podmatch for a while, so he and I had been talking about numerous things. So that helped me get comfortable. But I think right before that, I met our friend Phil Better, who is one of our Canadian friends, and he and I clicked immediately. So he helped me really kind of chill out, thaw out, quote unquote, and really just allow myself to relax. And that helped me kind of really smooth into the event as it kicked off for that Saturday. So thankfully, in contrast to my expectations, it was a really smooth transition.
I think that's great. Yeah, and I think that's again another perk about our conference in particular, having that the smaller atmosphere, less people, I think actually makes people more approachable that way. You can latch on to somebody, meet somebody, and make them your buddy for a little while until you get more comfortable.
Exactly.
And that's harder to do at these big shows. I know the podcast show just happened, and I think they were touting something like 5,000 people at the event or something like that. And I'm not putting the event down, because clearly that's a really successful event. And I, for me personally, and people like me, I think that might feel a little challenging to find your person right out of the gate that way. Yeah.
Well, if I could also put this in contrast to another event. So last week I just attended the Seed the South Capital Summit in Charlotte. It's a big annual event similar to EPC, but unlike, and I love it, don't get me wrong. And we were like at the Bank of America Stadium, it was cool. But unlike EPC, at something like that, where it's not only elite information, but it feels very elite, where you're constantly kind of feeling you're kind of crawling up something just to maintain a presence there. But EPC doesn't have that weird demand of you. You can relax, and the acclimation is super quick. And again, the information you're still getting, you're taking away from the event, is still high tier. So in contrast to something like that, it's just a much more come as you are, we'll work with you with whatever you got to bring to the table kind of thing, which is why I loved it so much.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you, BC.
Well, I would like to piggyback on what BC's telling us about his experience, because I know there's a couple other people in the crowd. Mark, you helped a gentleman who came to the event, really didn't know anybody, and then had expressed that maybe I shouldn't be here because I don't know anybody. You were able to talk to him, introduce him to a few people, get him into the rhythm of the community, and all of a sudden he's having the time of his life.
Yeah, let me share that real quick.
And it's hard for organizers at big events to have the time to do that type of thing.
That's right. That's again another. Yes, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, and this gentleman, that actually happened at the panel that you just mentioned a little while ago, the PPA Ask the Experts panel. It happened right after, because I had said something. I had encouraged him, given him several pieces of advice. I forget what the question was. And the last piece of advice I gave him was to keep attending our conference, Empowered Podcasting, because I think it would help him. And he came up to me at the end of that, like I hadn't even walked away from the stage yet. And he came up to me and he said, "Hey, I appreciate what you shared. And I want you to know I'm not coming back." And this was only we were only halfway through the conference at this point. So my jaw kind of hit the floor and I was like, what's going on? And yeah, exactly what you said. He just didn't feel like he was fitting in. He was just, for whatever reason, having a hard time finding his way. And I'm so appreciative that he actually had the guts to do that. I think some people would have just internalized it and walked away and just probably thought badly about the event, but he came to me and I introduced him to one or two people. But then again, because it's just such an intimate experience and event, I went around afterwards when he started talking to one person and I just started asking people like, "Hey, would you give this guy a little bit of attention? Like he's trying to find his way here and he's feeling a little left out." And everybody just not only said, "Sure, I'll do it," but really embraced it and got to know him. I think Alex Sanfilippo was one of those people too. And yeah, that's just, it speaks to why we are such believers in having and hosting a smaller event. And we keep saying smaller, and I don't love using that term, but when I guess I'm using it in comparison to some of the ones that we've been talking about today.
More intimate is more
yes.
of a good description of what we're building.
Good word, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So thanks for bringing that up, Jason. Rich, you said you had another question.
I had my main question, yeah.
Go for it.
Thank you. Okay, so BC, so you're one of our creator partners. And when you and I were talking, you hit it from a different angle. So I was telling you about our idea for the creator partner program. You know, we're sharing your content, blah, blah, blah. But you also had an idea to conduct interviews on site for a specific project that you're working on, and you thought it'd be a great idea to kind of meld the two together. So knowing that, why don't you tell us a little bit about your project, what it is that you're working on, and how how it's going to impact how it's going to make an impact at EPC, and how people can kind of get involved and assist, be a part of what it is that you're doing as part of your contribution.
Yeah, so I had this epiphany toward the end of the year last year about how I wanted to connect with people through my business, which is really the whole reason I went freelance a couple years ago in the first place. I wanted to understand how I like to develop relationships, develop networks, connect people with myself, but also with each other. And I had this thought about being this kind of drawing on my radio past and being on the mic, but also being with someone live. And my show, Casual Babble, tends to be interview based. And so I thought about, what if I were to bring that to people, especially to conferences, summits, all these fancy words we have for these events, but take the experience that speakers have, that attendees have, sponsor reps, and turn that into a narrative, not only to provide back to the host of the event so they can see from the perspective of these people that they engage with what it's like to be a part of that moment, but also, practically speaking, to utilize that kind of content as promotionals and kind of rewinds for future things. So I kind of pitched this idea actually on LinkedIn. You know, what would you pay if you were to have someone come by and do a podcast style media correspondent service? And I recall actually our friend Phil saying, "Damn, I hate that you came up with this first." But
I remember that. I remember reading that comment.
So
yeah.
Like, okay, good. That's a great sign so far. And so coming into this year, I reached out to Mark and say, "Hey, you know, I'd love to get some practical experience with this service. I know you're going to come back to Charlotte with EPC. And could I volunteer the service as it's happening. We'll find a spot for me somewhere, hopefully, and find a small space for a decent sized table. I'll have 2 mics, 2 cameras, my laptop, and I'll do this thing for you free of charge and see how I can provide that to you post facto as a kind of legacy client. And then he loved the idea, but then Rich had announced the creator partner program, and I thought, you know what, I'm going anyway. Let's see if we can hybridize this opportunity. And so that's when you and I discussed it.
Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, sorry. Somebody was talking. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, that was me. Sorry. So I know that you and I, well, all of us and you, we're all working out the finer details, but
yeah.
Knowing that your time is going to be limited, what are you thinking about as far as, are these people going to have to reach out to you in advance and kind of reserve a spot? Like, I mean, and if you don't have the details worked out, that's fine. I'm sure we'll have conversations. But what are you thinking as far as interview goes, and how are they going to reserve a spot and all that good stuff?
I think what I would probably do, and this would be when I'm officially launching the service anyway, would be I would discuss with the host, so you guys hear who's speaking, how many sponsor reps will we have there, and how many maybe attendees can we get. Let's build a form. Let's promote that out closer to the event. Who would like to be part of this media correspondence, be showcased on this content, and get people to sign up. And I think since I'm choosing to make a whole staycation out of it myself, I'll be there a number of days before. If we have any other early arrivals who can potentially get their parts done well in advance to make sure that we're not in a hurry, we're not like racing to get done, things like that, it could help smooth it out. So that's where I'm thinking logistically at the moment.
Very cool. Thank you, BC. So I want to wrap up this portion, and I know you're sticking around for the rest of what we're doing today, but for someone who maybe has never attended and thinking about attending Empowered Podcasting, or maybe getting more involved, what's your advice? What are your thoughts?
I think going back to the story you shared about the guy who didn't feel like he belonged, don't assume there's an expectation by any of us on you as you walk in the door. You could come into this event with just a really long considered concept, and you'll walk away with so much information, so many actionable thoughts that you could launch the week after. Mm-hmm. So take whatever you have, bring what you have to the table. Anyone there will happily work with what you bring. This is not an elitist thing. This is like Jason said, an intimate setting, but you are welcome to be there. Don't question it. Just show up.
Yeah. Just dive in. Yeah. I love that. Thank you, BC. That's awesome. Appreciate that. I feel like I need to do some kind of, okay, let's switch gears here. And check out BC Babbles. BC, where would you like people to connect with you? What's the easiest or best place?
Please connect with me on Substack. I am pouring my heart and soul into that platform. So bcbabbles.substack.com. But if you want to find my other socials, my Beacons page, beacons.ai/BC Babbles, and you can connect with me wherever you're most active.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think you can find all different links to all those different places. If you go to podcastingmorningshow.com/people, you will find BC's profile there, and you can learn more about him and connect with him in all the different ways. Thank you for being such a big part of this year, BC. It's awesome that it fell into your lap last year, and now you're a bigger part of it this year.
It's really cool. Now. You can't get rid of me that easily. I'm locked in.
Yeah. Awesome. Very cool. All right. So switching gears, I know that we are going to share a little bit about a giveaway that's coming up here, which I would call it a relatively significant giveaway. And we have more giveaways to share down the road as well. But first, Jason, I think maybe I'll go to you here, because one of the things on our agenda today is to share a little bit about the breakdown of the weekend festivities. So, please share a little bit.
So, as we said, now, listen, I'm going to encourage everybody to not do what BC did. Come for both days and take full advantage of it.
And actually, come Thursday.
That's true. Actually, come Thursday. So let's break this down, because I know that what we've done in the past versus what we're doing this year, there is a lot more. And it's awesome, because it's going to give us more opportunities to come together as a community, and it's going to give everybody an opportunity to network on a higher level. So This year, if you were there last year on Thursday night, and that's typically when most folks arrive coming into town, we didn't really have anything officially planned, and we, I guess by accident, chose the bar as our central meeting place, but there was no bartender, and it wasn't open.
Right.
So everybody hung out and talked, and it was fun, but it was also like, why don't we have a drink in our hands? All right, because there's no one working. But we took care of that, and we were having we're calling it an opening mixer. So when you get to the hotel, if you're coming in on Thursday at any point, we're going to have that event. It's sponsored by our friends at Mopod. First round of drinks is on us, or actually it's on Mopod, I should say. And it's going to give everybody an opportunity to connect with speakers and connect with attendees and really get the ball rolling to set up what's going to be a great 2 days from there. So moving forward, going into Friday, what's a big difference from this year versus last year was it's a full day. Last year we just did a half a day, but now we're doing all day long with starting with workshops in the morning. What we learned last year was having the interactive portion of our event really helped break the ice.
Mm-hmm.
Adding the mixer on Thursday, I think, is going to play a significant role in that as well. But getting everybody interacting with one another through the workshops, it's going to be a great way to kick off the event. So that will be what happens on on Friday morning.
And it starts early, which is another reason why we're trying to encourage everyone to come Thursday, because we do have 2 full days, and we want everyone to get as much of the information and connections as possible. So, come Thursday, and tentatively, I think we're kicking off at 8:30 in the morning.
8:30 in the morning. Me, Mark, and Rich will do a quick welcome to EPC just to get the crowd out of their seats for a few minutes, and then we'll just roll right into the workshops. And then after lunch, we're going to do we'll have everything split into 2 tracks. You can go to, obviously, lunch will be on your own that day, but of course, you'll be able to eat at the hotel. I believe they're going to at least be open, not officially with us, but you'll be able to stay there if you want, or check out one of the surrounding restaurants in the South Park, Charlotte area.
Yep.
And when we get the ball rolling in the afternoon, it's going to be a few of our 30-minute presentation presenters on stage, plus we're going to have our panels on Friday as well. Friday night, I guess we can say as is tradition at this point, we're going to be doing a happy hour.
Yep.
I'm not saying this 100% yet. We haven't officially locked this in yet, but we're looking to return to Suffolk Punch. So for the attendees,
they've added some costs to this.
Yeah,
we're
still sifting through how we can logistically make this work. But I think the majority of us are in favor of staying at that locale because it's awesome. It's got a lot of space. It's good beer. It's good food. All the goods. So we want to make sure that we're giving the best for you guys. But I believe we're still waiting to announce our sponsor for that happy hour, which will be coming soon. But that, again, you'll all know ahead of time that where to go for the happy hour. And and we'll make sure it's the right Suffolk Punch because there are a couple of them.
Oh, yes, and that was a little bit of a problem last year.
Yes, so we'll make sure that is all clearly addressed. And then get a good night's sleep because Saturday is another full day of presentations, panels, keynotes. I mean, the value you're going to get from this, I guess what ends up being about 3 days or maybe a combination of 2.5 when you factor in the unofficial goodbye brunch on Sunday morning at the hotel. Between the connections that you're going to make, the information that you're going to walk away with, and just the overall vibe and feeling that you have. I know last year I ended up sitting at a table with Sean McClellan and Christina Vidovich for about 3 hours after everything had let up. And I think all 3 of us were in this mindset of, you know what? We don't want this to end. Let's keep this conversation going. And we did well into the afternoon on Sunday. And I think that's the vibe we want everyone to leave EPC with. There's going to be actionable strategies and advice that you can put into practice the second you get home and you turn on your microphone again. But overall, just that community vibe and connection that we're putting on the stage, it's second to none. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this unfolds this year.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Is there, and you don't even have to say who the speaker is, but is there any presentation that really stands out to you that you personally are just interested in hearing?
Well, there's this guy on this call today that's talking about taking the invisible barriers out of your podcasting and putting together an episode flow that really keeps people locked in for longer. It gets them sharing, and that would be me. No, that's what I'll be talking about.
Cool.
I don't want to. I'm not going to cling to just me. No, I
mean,
honestly,
might as well.
if I had to, it's so hard to pinpoint one. It's like picking your favorite child.
Right.
The idea when we looked at all of these great presentations that were submitted was, okay, what can we do to zero in on what people are talking about now in the podcast industry, as well as trying to anticipate some of the things that are going to be coming down the pike, so we can give people in attendance some strategies for planning and being ready for potential changes. We know video is a big part of the conversation, refuses to leave the chat. So we want to make sure that there is some element of that being talked about as well. But across the board, I think the speakers that we've lined up are going to knock it out of the park. It's going to be tremendous.
Yeah, and I know for me, I'm curious about Danielle Corbett's speech or presentation, because she's talking all about how to get grants for a podcast. So getting free money from the government to help you along with your podcast, and she's had a lot of success with that. So I'm really curious. I know what she's doing a little bit, but I haven't seen her actually speak on it. So that one I'm excited about learning more. And
Good
Rich,
stuff.
I don't know if you've gone through the speaker list enough times to have one that stands out to you or not, but I'll give you a chance if you do have any.
I mean, I'm always that person that I don't like making my decision until I'm there, because like I get wrapped in and like, oh, I have my heart set on this presentation, but then I'm talking to this person. I'm like, oh, let me go over here. And I know whatever it is, it's going to be valuable. I'm excited to hear everybody. And I'm more excited to make those connections in the hallway and build some long-lasting relationships there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you'll be able to check all of the speakers out shortly at empoweredpodcasting.com. And Jason, you had something else?
I can't believe I forgot to say this.
Okay.
So Saturday, we're also doing a lunch.
Oh, free lunch.
As you purchase your ticket, you're getting lunch on Saturday, and we're doing a party to close down the event on Saturday night, where you'll get dinner and hors d'oeuvres. So, I mean, let's try to break this down. We've got 25 plus 30-minute presentations, 5 workshops, 2 keynote speakers, 3 or 4 panels, lunch, happy hours, dinner, a party, networking, and then there's Mod. You've got so much going on in this weekend. The value for the ticket to me is it's just, there's nothing to compare it to. There's just so much you're getting packed into this weekend. It's the value's through the roof.
And I believe for the party on Saturday, we will be once again providing food. This time we're doing it at the hotel. So the hotel's going to have all sorts of variety of hors d'oeuvres and other types of foods there. So we're excited. Lots of big stuff coming, including a giveaway. Jason, do you want to share a little bit about that too?
Yeah, so in addition to everything we've just laid out, we are going to be giving away a Shure MV7, perhaps the MV7 Plus. I know we haven't fully locked in which one of those MV7s we're going to lean into, but that will be announced on our social media as soon as we make the purchase. But anybody that buys a ticket to Empowered Podcasting Conference 3 is automatically entered to win the Shure MV7 microphone, which we will give away and have the person who wins it up on stage. They have to be in the room. We'll make sure, and again, we want to do this at a point where we're going to have everybody in the room. So we'll figure out the best time for that. But I think that's a pretty cool add-on for, gosh, all this information, and I could go home with a free kick-ass microphone.
Yeah, and there's I don't want to say anything yet because we've got to all talk about it, but I think I'd like to throw in a few more things with that giveaway, or maybe just do a couple of other giveaways too. So more to come on that, but definitely a brand new Shure MV7 microphone, and I think it's safe to say an MV7 Plus microphone.
Yeah, we can get Junaid to give away one of his studio boxes. Those,
oh yeah,
I'm sure he'd be all over that.
Oh, of course, yeah. Those things are
hate me for
quite
saying
pricey.
That. Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right, cool. So before we wrap up, gentlemen, we talked a little bit today on the Podcasting Morning Show about, and Jason and I shared some notes here about what to talk about today. And Jason, I saw your exaggerated note about Spotify rolling out 100 new features. We had a good conversation about this morning. one of the new features that Spotify wants to add is, they want to really kind of make the podcast experience more of an app experience than just a listening or watching experience. One of the features being where AI will be built into it to where you can interact with the podcast using AI. You can ask questions, to maybe deeper questions you have about the subject that's being discussed. I can't even think of all the different ways, but that is one of them.
Yeah, and that's where this topic is loosely being discussed here today, because my knowledge of this was I saw the video that Elsie Escobar posted on Instagram breaking all this down. Elsie being another great podcasting person that's going to be in the house speaking at EPC.
Yeah.
And I was just laughing because, her presentation of it was great, and it really mirrored my thoughts of when has it become too much for the creator? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these are all amazing tools. And I think, is it more Spotify just trying to get people locked into being exclusively on the Spotify for Creators network? Or is there another level to this that I'm not considering?
It's an interesting perspective, because I was looking at this more really for the consumer than for something that the creator needs to worry about, because I think that this is something that Spotify is just going to build in to their product. Right, so that we're doing is providing the content that then can be more interactive with their AI software. BC, you have some thoughts?
Yeah, I want to say on the opposite side of that, I think this will be a really solid test on whether or not query-based metrics are going to play into something that both a creator can leverage for sponsorships and other deals down the road, but also if it is that successful, how quickly will Apple hop onto that train as well.
Mm-hmm.
But also I think, because another facet was also they could look into a show and request a certain topic and be given a playlist of episodes that meet the topic, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So that would also in real time tell the creator what to optimize for, what topics to throw out, what topics to focus in on from that point on.
Yeah. Yep, that makes sense too. And that reminds me also, just side note, Amazon's Alexa is doing some stuff similarly to that. But what they're doing, which this caused a lot of controversy this morning, Amazon Alexa is adding a way. Okay, help me remember this, BC. Shoot, what is it? It's with AI.
They can request basically to create a whole
episode. You can recreate.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. You can create a personal podcast for yourself. You basically tell Alexa what kind of podcast you want, and it will create a completely AI-generated podcast specifically for you. And what it does, which I think is, if there's anything cool about this at all, I think it's cool that it first provides you with an outline of basically the direction it's going to go in, and then you can provide adjustments, etc., before you get your finished product.
That's been done before, hasn't it? Somebody did this and did it poorly, if I recall.
I wouldn't surprise me.
This is from a few years ago, so I can't remember, but I remember a service, and it was Nick Nullbach that brought it to my attention. I think on the episode he joined me on my show where we talked about AI. You could go in and you told it what you wanted, and it would generate this AI. It sounded awful. And
well, sure, Notebook LM, Google Notebook LM does that.
Yeah.
They do that same kind of thing, and a lot of people take advantage of it. So, it seems to be a need for it, but I think it's also making a lot of podcasters freak out a bit, just like, is
I'm going to
yell
at the cloud. I'll be the old man
jobs.
yelling at a cloud again. And what do we need this? It's just so much.
I do think that there is a need in the sense that I think if we can make podcasts that much more interactive, I think it could lead to longer watch time, longer listen time, etc. So I think that there are some advantages to that. But yeah, the consumers are going to be the ones that are really going to tell us if this is something needed or not.
Yeah, that's a good point.
BC, how about you? You have something.
Did you clip that moment yet from this morning that I told you about?
No, which one?
If anyone wants a visual representation of this cast's thoughts on that very story,
yeah,
Ralph and I at least almost puked listening to the breakdown of this story's introduction.
Yes,
you got to clip the hell out of that moment and share it for the masses, because all questions answered at that point.
Okay,
I'm sorry I missed this morning. I would have probably been there vomiting alongside of you. crazy.
Yeah. So what else is Spotify doing? They're also introducing memberships similarly to what Apple is doing, where you can basically your big faithful fans can pay a little more and maybe get an episode early, an uncensored version, all those kinds of things. Spotify is jumping in on that too. By the way, BC, I think it was you. Will Apple follow suit and other players? If it's Apple, maybe they'll follow suit, but it'll take them probably a couple of years before they do it. They take their own time to add anything, whether it's working on other platforms or not. At least that's the way I see it with them. But yeah, the personal podcasts, it would be, let's see, this is eligible for premium users, and they can generate their private personalized audio episodes using prompts, text, PDFs, or links, much like Google Notebook LM has been doing for a while now. I don't know. I see it as potentially something good. It's a better way, in my opinion, to use AI in podcasting rather than what Inception Point AI is doing, where they're just generating thousands of podcast episodes. And the latest news there is they've recently said that they will stop making podcasts where they claim that the host is an actual doctor. Well, that's smart. I think.
How nice of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Otherwise, they'll probably get sued, or who knows what happens to them if they didn't do that.
But they're not taking that out of old content.
What's that?
But they're not going to take that out of old content.
Right. Correct. They're going to keep all the old content that claims they're doctors and lawyers.
Oh my God.
What did we deem them on the one live stream? Insloption Point?
Yes, Insloption Point. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, AI is definitely making a big impact. Some good things, some not so good, and we're here for it. We'll see what happens.
I don't think we have a choice.
I don't think we have a choice either. Rich, before we wrap up, you had something you wanted to share about sponsors at EPC.
Yeah, I do. Thank you very much. Before I do that, though, real quick, I know Jason didn't mention this before, and that's cool because we're still working out the finer details, but I made a post in the EP Facebook group, also on my private page, on my personal page. If you are going to Empowered Podcasting Conference and you're an author, reach out to me. We're still working out the details, but we want to give our author community a little extra shine, a little spotlight at the conference. So if you are an author and you're going to be at EP conference, Empowered Podcasting Conference, reach out to me because we'll announce something cool for our author community in the coming days or so. So authors, reach out. But
awesome.
Yeah, the sponsors, I do want to give some shine to our sponsors. So you are helping us make this a success right now. So thank you very much, our sponsors. And if I miss anybody, fellas, chime in. So we have the Content Creators Accountant, our title sponsor. Thank you, Ralph, for
who's
helping
waiting to find out when he officially becomes a grandfather. Today, his daughter-in-law is giving birth. So good luck.
Very cool. All right. For a future content creator there, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. Shout out to the Bourbon Barrel Podcasting, also the Maker's Machine and Mopod, some of our creator partners, the Trend Report Podcast, Mozen Wellness, the Podcast Teacher, Success on Social, Volt Productions, Your Brand Amplified, and Cassiano Creative. Thank you, BC. And also some of our in-kind sponsors. Of course, we got to give love to Podfest, Home Studio Mastery, Pod News, Webby AI, and new, because I just had the conversation with James and his wife Mara yesterday, Monday, Memorial Day. Military Creator Con is also going to be helping us out. So cool partnership with Military Creator Con. And also to another recent partnership, we're working out the finer details. Podcast Peeps will also be helping us out in some capacity at the conference. So lots of opportunities to get involved, folks, whether it's the Creator Partner Program, some other sponsorship, or maybe you just want to volunteer and lend a hand. Reach out to us. We'd love to have you get involved and continue making Empowered Podcasting a huge success. So thank you.
Yeah, empoweredpodcasting.com/sponsors, I believe, is where you can go. Otherwise, you can find the tab over at empoweredpodcasting.com. Gentlemen, thank you for another great edition of Empowered Podcasting Live. We're back again in 2 weeks from today, so that will be June 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern. You can get that information at podcastingmorningshow.com/EPC Live or EP Live, because I know the show's technically called Empowered Podcasting Live. So we have those two links for you. Either one will work, and that'll give you all the ways you can connect with us live here. And remember to get your tickets. They go up again in price in July. I know that means in your mind, oh, I have plenty of time, but just get your tickets now, especially if you're really planning on coming, because that helps us plan a lot better, more efficiently, knowing how many people are actually attending. Don't be last minute and give me more gray hair than I already have. I would appreciate that. And if you have any questions, just reach out to any one of us at any time. We're happy to answer and help you along in your decision making. I know that we have several people in the chat here on Clubhouse that have said they're making their efforts to be there. Gabe's just waiting on his schedule to make sure he's got some time off cleared. So looking forward to seeing you there, Gabe. And John, I know you're trying to make an effort to be there as well. So hope to see all of you there, and thank you for attending today. We'll see you next time. Until the 10th, make it a great day, everybody. Take care.